Meet my dog.
This is Bob.
This is Bob. What?
Hey, Bob.
This might be short-lived if you don't settle. Oh, okay.
Come here. Oh, okay. Behind?
This is gonna be the whole episode. Place. Welcome back to the recap show. It's just me today. I'm not sorry. Christen is deep into the NWSL season, and I am deep into picking up her slack. But don't worry, folks. We have two incredible guests today. We have the dynamic duo from the San Diego Wave, Delphine Cascarino and Kenza Dali, who are absolutely making waves, no pun intended, in the NWSL and in San Diego. These are two phenomenal players, French internationals, and one who is a dear friend of mine. All right, other things that are exciting about the show is we are bringing back some of my favorite things, Tobin's top things, they may say. So let's get into it. Here's number one. The Premier League thing. The Premier League season just kicked off, meaning Bob isn't the only thing compelling me out of bed at 5 a.m. By the way, WSL comes back September 5th. The Gotham thing. Good job to Gotham for finding new, innovative ways to sell tickets, also known as the blueprint. Another thing they could try is winning. The European coach thing. Congrats to Nick Cushing for joining the Denver Summit. I know he'll increase the quality of coaching in the league. And congrats to the NWSL for continuing to hire white men. The solidarity thing. Sending love to every NWSL fan in the stands who've made their voices heard this summer. Who knew women's sports would be the last line of defense for the Constitution? The teenage thing. The NWSL youth movement continues to make waves. Olivia Moultrie recently tied Jaden Shaw for the most goals scored by a teen in the NWSL. Goes to show that the younger you turn pro, the more history you can make. The Go Dash thing. Way to go to the Houston Dash for their excellent support of players on maternity leave. For the first time ever, I'm a Houston Dash fan. Okay, time's up. Welcome, Kenza and Delphine, to the recap show. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, how was the trip?
Yeah, really good actually. No traffic.
Yeah.
So
that's fast. Yeah, good.
Let's see on the way back.
Oh, and I see Bob has made an appearance as well.
Bob, you can sit with us. We're happy to have you to come here. Coming? Yeah?
There we go. Okay, thank you. Kenza, question for you. What are you most excited for on game days? The fit picks or the actual game?
No, the actual game.
The actual game.
No, the actual game, yeah. But I think like it's really good things to add in America. It makes the league different.
You never were able to do that before.
No. Yeah. And you played in Europe. It's really strict in terms of like, you have to wear like what everyone is wearing and like the team stuff.
Yeah. Or the suits.
Or the suits.
Yeah.
So no,
okay. Bob's out. We gave you a chance, Bob. We gave you a chance. Well, we're so excited to have you guys here because you guys are pretty much the most dynamic duo in the NWSL right now.
Oh,
thank you.
From you, it's a compliment.
Right? So, Delphine, we don't know each other very well, but Kenza and I go back like to our early days of football. And I think you guys probably know this feeling now, especially you, because you've played in a lot of different places. But that was my first time leaving the US to go play overseas. And what was so special is like I ended up on this team with incredible international players and awesome French players. And Kenza was the only one that attempted to speak English. Which was really helpful.
Yeah.
And I later found out that there were other French players that spoke English, but it took a while for them to open up. But Kenza was one of the first French players to really welcome me into like the country and the team. And you never forget like your first experience going overseas because you feel very like vulnerable and uncomfortable. And I just remember like some of my like closest friendships come from the first time I went over to play for PSG.
You know what? Like, now that I've been abroad, I can understand the like struggles of like foreigners coming in France. And when you play there, you don't realize, because French people, we like staying in the league at that time. Not a lot of French were playing abroad, so I feel like we never really put ourselves in the shoes of foreigners. And I can understand that it was like really difficult. Now I'm like in this situation. Obviously, it's really like, yeah, I understand so much more things that happened before, while like we signed like some amazing player, but like it took so much time for them because everything is so different, and like everyone expects you to perform straight away. And like as a teammate, I'm glad you say that I tried with you, but I feel like we could do so much more in France to welcome like the foreigners.
Yeah. Well, Delphine, you came to the US last season. That was your first time leaving France. And like Kenza said, in like French culture and French women's football, you don't see a lot of French players leaving France. I think this is now starting to become more of a trend. But you left after playing in France for most of your career. What was that decision like for you to come to the NWSL? Like what made you make the jump?
I think it was just to really want to try something new. Across the world, and I wanted to change environment, to change people around me, because I always play for Lyon with the same player every time. I was close to my family. I played for where I'm born, so I never leave my place. So I wanted to change, and I decided to join this league because it was this league really attracted me. So I wanted to try, and for me it was it's one of the best league in the world for women's soccer. So I tried to follow my dream to come here, and I'm really happy to be here. And that's true. At the beginning, it was a bit difficult, a big challenge for me, because I was the only one French player in my team. And then I heard that Pearl Moroni will come, and I was really happy because it's my friend in Lyon. It was my friend, and so it's really good to have my friend here. And now I have Kenza and Lorena. We are 4 Frenchies.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Are there any other French players on any teams other than San Diego currently?
Yeah, Washington. They have, and LA. Angel City with Julie Dufour.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, it's really great. When I heard that you were signing, obviously, I was so excited to have you as a talent in the NWSL because obviously, being a winger myself and enjoying like entertaining one-on-one type players, that's kind of why I watch football. And I've always been a big fan of you and your game. So getting like really big talents and really entertaining talents into the league, I was really excited about. So thanks for coming over.
We were actually talking about you before, and we were like calling you like the Brazilian American. Because you were like really creative.
Yeah.
Which like in your generation, like you were the one to like always, as foreigners, we always like, wow, Tobin is like an amazing player. I remember talking with Wendy because you were different. At that time, like a lot of young player now, like dynamic on the wing, but like you were one of the first to be like really, really creative.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I mean, I get so much inspiration from like football outside of the U.S. that bringing it back into the U.S. and it's cool because I think now I see more players that have a little bit more of that creativity or that expression on the field. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I mean, it's why I love the game, and it was so cool. Actually, I came to practice San Diego because, as you know, Jonas, I played for him at Arsenal And it's funny, we had spoken about like him being the coach of San Diego. And, I always told Jonas, I think you do really well in the NWSL, your style of coaching. And I also think Swedish coaches do really well with American players and style. And it was great because he invited me down to come see practice, and it was during preseason. And I remember just like taking it all in, and you guys were doing a fitness drill. And it was, what do you guys call that? Because I never did that. The 1 kilometer.
So basically, how science and physical coach is English.
Yeah.
Ben Young, and it's really a thing that you're doing in England. Like all the clubs are doing it.
Yeah,
in
no,
England.
it's definitely new, but I'm seeing it like it's kind of like the standard preseason test. But you guys were doing it like every week?
No.
So
you guys were doing it a lot though. It's not like you just did it once, right?
Like basically the test is like 10 length, full pitch, which is like 1 kilometer, and like you have to do it under 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Over 4 minutes, it means you're not fit.
Yeah, well, Kenza, so I was watching this, right? And it's like, it takes kind of a while, and you're just going like back and forth the length of the pitch, and you are crushing it. Like you were like whole fields before everyone else, And the truth is, most of the players finished within the 4 minutes, but your engine was going.
Just 3 minutes for her.
Yeah, for everyone else it's the 4 minute test, but for Kenza it's the 3 minute test. And I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this team. And also, I think what I appreciated about coming and watching how you all were being set up by Jonas, and then also like seeing you all work, like you were working in a way that I thought was very professional and like putting you in a really important position to be successful in the NWSL, because as we know, it's a very demanding league physically, and you won't have time during the season to kind of get to that level. So it looked like, in your preseason that you knew exactly how demanding it was going to be, and you were setting yourselves up to be successful.
You want to say something about the league being demanding, because she's mentioning a lot.
Well, I'd love to hear like what your thoughts are in terms of the difference in the league from the French league.
This league is really, really different. You play for PSG. The French league is easier. We have some good match, but it's not every week a good match. So so we don't used to be at 100% every week. So it was a little bit hard for me to be to have a high rhythm at each game. So it took a lot of time for me to adapt for this league. But now I'm really in shape, and I feel good physically to play in this league, because it's really demanding. Demanding?
Yeah, demanding. I think she is the Euro she just had. Like, I think highlight the fact that like going abroad for her was like the best decision for me, because like people were so. I played with Delphine for more than 10 years in national team and stuff, and like that's the most consistent Delphine I've seen. And like in Europe, they were like, wow, Delphine Cascarino at this Euro is like the best player. But for me, like, is the Delphine I've seen every day.
Yeah.
So people didn't, in Europe, they don't really watch like that league.
Yeah.
So they were surprised to see her at that level, but they were the only one to be surprised, because I've seen the difference between the Delphine I've played with in France and the Delphine I have today.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, I'd love to talk about the Euros because it just happened. Can we talk about it?
About the Euro?
Yeah. Well, I guess what we spoke on, I don't know if you listened to the recap show, but we spoke on the recap show about like your omission from the French team and how big of a shock it is. And I think it kind of goes into what you just said about not many people being exposed to the NWSL overseas and, watching it like game in and game out. But you're playing at a level, I've followed your game, since we were friends. But your level in the NWSL right now is, I don't think I've ever seen a midfielder dictate the game like you're dictating it for San Diego. For an individual player to have the type of control that you're having in your position, I have never seen. And honestly, like and that was the hardest part for me when you weren't on the roster, because I understand the coach's decision or whatever to be like, no, I'm going with a younger squad. But I also felt like you weren't in the category of the players, in my opinion, that needed the refresh, that had been in those moments, because you never really had your big moment in a big tournament. You know, those were players that had their chances. You never had that. And in my opinion, you were posed in the same way Delphine was posed to have a really exceptional Euros. So that was my, like, obviously I want to know behind the curtain. I want to know what your experience was and what was communicated to you in regards to that.
First of all, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. It means a lot because as I told you, like, I have a lot of respect for you, and the Euro is like, everyone is like kind of waiting for me to like say what happened. And like, if I'm honest with you, I'm like, the deception was so hard, the disappointment, because when you're part of this team and like the whole season, and you're like in the leadership group, which people don't know the behind the scene, like what you're doing for this team. And again, it's not for me. The same way like Eugenie done it, the same way Wendy done it, like all the things that you experience. For example, like we kind of like made the new CBA, how you call it in America, for the team, for bonuses, to like set the team in the best way possible. And like the coach was using her experience and her relationship with the players and stuff, and like kind of like calling us like a month before the Euro in a 5-minute call, telling us like we're not a part of it. When you really don't expect it. Because as you say, like, I understand if you want to, like, you need new generation. And obviously it's about football. I think it will be so much more easier for me if I won't have the level to play at the Euro. So like if at 34 years old, I'm like, but as you say, like I'm smashing the physical test. And like I'm running the most in the team every single game, and by like 1 kilometer more than anyone in the team. So like if you talk to me about age, you talk about number, you talk about data. And today you have every single things to like analyze my data, how often I'm training. I'm never miss training, never missed a game, run the most. And like I feel like age is not a reason. And while I'm like, obviously I will say the behind the scene when I'm like out of my season, because like it was a lot stressful, and like it took me so much energy to like kind of like accept the decision, watching the Euro, and like you always scared of like injury and stuff at that moment. So I'm like, the day I'm gonna say like what I think, what my truth is, it's like it's gonna take me energy. That like I don't have time for that right now, because I'm so focused now of like my team in San Diego. And like as I say, like I respect decision of the coach always. I always had good relationship with my coaches. But there's way to do it. There's like not only respect, but like we human being. You know, and I feel like this part is really, really hard to accept. It's like really not treating people right when you like know what you done to build your team, and like use us so much. And when your team is done, when your CBA is signed, take us out.
That's why I was wondering, like, do you think that if you weren't part of that leadership group, if you didn't fight for those things off the pitch, do you think that you would have made the team?
I feel like if he will give me a good reason Doesn't matter the reason. You're
Yeah.
a coach, you have a vision. It's
course.
your vision, and I respect it totally. What I don't understand is like on the 5-minute call, and this is the first time I'm saying it, but like I ask him, is it the age?
Mm-hmm.
No. Is it my performances? Because obviously the age he can't say yes.
Yeah, that's
Because-
against the
Because of the data.
Yeah.
So like when you speak about age, you speak about rhythm, how fast you move, how often you can train, what level you can perform, what as a midfielder, what miles you can cover,
Yeah.
everything. When you speak about age, you speak about that. So I say, is it a question of like level? Do you think, and you have the right to think that like I don't have the level to play in your team? No. Is it a question of age? No. Is it my behavior? Because I don't think I even asked my teammate, like, do you think my behavior is like over the line? Or maybe sometimes you're out of like,
Yeah.
no. So when I ask him, like literally this 3 question, so you're not talking to me about football, you're not talking to me about my age. So what is it? You're not talking to me about my behavior.
Yeah.
And he say, it's a decision for the national team. And this is like, what I'm a bit sad is that if you will do that in another country, in England,
Yeah.
you will take off like the captain over years that won everything. That other players fears, your opponent fears. When you like a striker, you're like, check the first name
Exactly.
you're checking.
Exactly.
It's Wendy,
Yeah.
you know? And when you take like out of Eugenie and like me, and you're like, in another country, the journalist will say, why? What's the reason? No one, I didn't follow the press conference because I cut and like, but no one is questioning it,
Yeah.
you know? And this is the part of like, that is the most like, wait a minute, like, no one is gonna like ask like the question we ask, like, what's the reason?
Yeah.
And
Or
literally,
to get more into it too. Because I feel like even with my questions about it was like you guys were all just kind of put into this bucket, but everybody has a unique situation within that.
yeah,
You
and
know?
like, here I'm talking to you about the football part that I was really disappointed because I was performing. I think it's so much easier if you kind of like, you're not performing.
Yeah.
So like,
And that's the problem with the national team too, because it is subjective to one coach or one federation. It's not like you can be like, okay, I'm going to go play for England then, you know? And we've had a lot of players in the past in the US team where we've had situations like this, where, you know, their whole career has been decided by one coach who has one reason that most of the time they don't know what that reason is, why they're not on the pitch, you know?
So that football part was like really, really difficult. But I feel like what was even harder is that the actual coach was the assistant of Hervé Renard, you know? So like how last coach,
Yeah.
Hervé, he was the assistant of Hervé. So
Got
like
it.
we knew him. We spent the World Cup and the Olympics together. I had a really tough time before the Olympic because I lost someone in my family and stuff. That like a really, really tough time. I kind of like really lost my why and stuff.
Of course.
And he was the one there for me. And
Wow.
we built a relationship that everyone knew that like it was bigger than football. So like he met my family in like a really intimate way because we were like grieving, we say?
Grieving, yeah.
Grieving.
Yeah.
He was the reason why I played the Olympics, kind of, because 2 weeks before the Olympic, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be with my mom. I want to be. And he came for me and like, he pushed me and like, he was there for me. And like, I always put in the shape of, I'm like, we were really close.
Yeah.
And like, our relationship was like, really like, you were there in the worst time of my life, literally. And then when someone like, the disappointment is even harder.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you're like, you know what it means for me?
Yeah. You know what I've come from. You know what I went through.
Exactly what like I did to perform today. And like you promise me things in like a way that like if I go to America, don't worry, Kenza. You're part of my leadership group. Every month you will be able to see your family. Because you're back in national team. So like, I don't know if I will make the decision to come in America if I don't have national team.
Of course.
Because I want to see my mom every month. I want,
Yeah.
And you know that.
Yeah.
And the fact that like, even if you don't take that because it's a professional level and like, you need to be professional in your decision. It's not because you went through things with me that if I'm not performing, you put me. This is not what I'm saying. Your job is to make decision, and I completely respect it.
Yeah.
But knowing all of that, the football part plus the part of that, is tough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it felt like the decision was almost a long time coming where the coach said, this is the team, right? This is the team we're going with. This is a new era for French football, right? And I think everybody was like, okay, let's get behind this new version of the French women's team, right? And I think we went into the Euros and we saw a re-energized French team, I feel like, in a lot of ways. But we saw almost the same result, right? Quarterfinals, the team loses in a game that was definitely winnable. Like at halftime through that game, I was like, should somebody tell France that they're a player up? It was almost like you guys were playing against Germany, like 11-11. But I will say, like, to you, Delphine, you had a breakout tournament. And to Kenza's point, she's been watching you day in and day out train and play at a level that's just consistently high and consistently contributing to the success of your team. And I've seen that too. And there was actually a moment early on in the group stage, and I don't know if I said this on the recap show, but there was something that happened that I said in my mind, wow, France could possibly win this. And there was a long ball that was played to you and it was overplayed. It went out of bounds. And I saw you turn around and give a thumbs up to your teammate. And I go, I've never seen this.
She learned that in America.
Yeah. I said, I've never seen this happen in all of French football. Because I played in France. There's a mistake. Everybody's like, Allez. And you're just like, what? And then in the US, you make a mistake and people are like, good try, And so I feel like when I saw you give a thumbs up to your teammate.
I always do that.
No,
I'm not the type of player who complain or who...
It's true.
Engueuler quelqu'un, like...
like shouting at a teammate.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
No, but I felt like when I saw that, I was like, this is NWSL version of Delphine, And I do think, and I don't want to... I think there's like ingredients that help, like can bring out the best in something, and then some that like don't formulate the best. And when I look at you both playing in the NWSL and being able to take some of the learnings in the NWSL and go back to France, I think those are some really good ingredients. And when I watched you play in the Euros, I thought you were absolutely fantastic. And I wanted to watch more of you. I think that the team should have gone further, but I'd love to hear like what your experience was like in the Euros. Like, were you feeling really confident? Did you believe that the team could get past like the hurdle that has been there for France?
Yeah, we was good on the field, and I felt a lot of confidence in this group. But then now I feel like we probably miss of experiences, like to figure out in this situation when we are 11 against 10, we don't know exactly what to do, and I think we miss a little bit about experiences in this situation.
Yeah. Because I think it was a little bit different of what I saw of France in the older tournaments, where like that definitely should be the semifinals, and then you're in the semifinals, and we saw like the Euros, there wasn't, I mean, look at England. They weren't the best team in the Euros, right? They were a team that now kind of has figured out this like winning mentality. And I just feel like there's these ingredients that when I look and you think of even Kenza, like even her new experiences and the way that she was playing, like could we have had a different result, you know? Or with more French players, you referenced, you know, you have 2 other French players in San Diego with kind of a more of an influence and more kind of diversity of experiences playing in other places. Could those be good ingredients to then bring back into the French side?
Yeah, I think that it's could help the team because if every player go out of his comfort zone, it could be better to take a risk sometime.
Yeah,
for the team because I think we are like it's a big comfort to be at home to win every week when we play for PSG or Olympique Lyonnais. It's like a little bit easy. So we can see in a tough game that sometimes we don't know what to do because we don't used to live this this situation. So I think the team can be better if we try to change something to push ourselves to change the country, to change everything. Maybe it can help the team. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it can because I mean, even when I went over to France, like I went over the same feeling as you. Like I wanted to be uncomfortable. I wanted to experience something new. And I came back a completely different player and professional. You know, I learned so much. And it's just like kind of adding tools into your toolbox and experiences that you can later on use. And I think that could be a level because as we know, French players, don't traditionally leave France. Like when you have the top European clubs in PSG and Lyon as your teams that, you know, are consistently playing at high levels, I feel like that's just become the norm. Like if you see a player move, it's between PSG and Lyon, right? That's like the big news. Big news. A player's going to one of these teams, you know? But I think this is kind of like a new generation. And I think you both being successful in the NWSL is like paving a new way. And now we need almost just more attention on the NWSL from your country so they know the level. But I think even you going to the Euros and being one of the best players at the Euros for your country and to not be playing in France is huge. And I think that's something that a lot of people will be noticing. And I think obviously the success of San Diego, like everyone's looking at your team right now and being like, wow, we didn't think San Diego was going to be second in the league and playing both really attractive football and getting like points. And Jonas having really great success in his first season. What do you think is happening in San Diego that is making it such a big success right now? Like, I think everybody wants to know, like, what are they doing?
What makes us successful is first of all, as you say, it's really professional with Jonas. He didn't adapt to the league. He believed in what, like, for him is like non-negotiable. And like some of the coach will be scared to like bring his style into this league.
Yeah.
He stay like on what he believes, and I think that's really important. And I feel as well like there's a really good mix between different nationalities.
Yeah.
Which is like different as well football when you think about it. European, we have like, you experience it is a lot of like possession. Americans, you love like the more direct, even if today is not really true in your national team. And I feel like it's finding the good mix between having experienced player in this thing with Sav, for example, in the middle for me. She knows the league Sav, right? So well.
Yeah.
So like
she's a good player.
Yeah. She knows the league so well. And like you have like player in this team that like knows how the opponent was the like strength of the opponent, and you have like this kind of like new players, European players that like as well play with identity.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of like found the good mix between this experience in the league and this identity of like, I feel if you want to play for San Diego today, you need as a player to be like capable of keeping the ball.
It's a high level of player. Yeah.
Yeah, and be brave.
Yep.
To play from the back, and like doesn't matter what the opponent, how the opponent press.
Yeah.
You need to be capable, to be brave, to like play from the back. And I feel like it's really different. Like I remember this summer we had a conversation, you and me, about the league, and you were like, yeah, it's really transitional. But I feel like in the locker room we said like to make a game transitional, you need two teams.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the one that keep the ball, then like you're the one
defeats the transition. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have I feel like you have amazing striker in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando and Kansas have like
big and individual qualities. Yeah,
which like it's not us.
Mm-hmm.
If you make this game transitional, I think we won't have success because we don't have the player for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we understood how strong is like to like keep the ball and find the moment. And
yeah. But that never worked before in the NWSL, which is why I think everybody is like so interested in what's happening, because it was always like, if you tried to do that, you were going to lose.
Why do you think it was that?
I think because it was overwhelming, because we didn't have free agency, you have to remember. Yeah. So teams couldn't really build around the type of profile players they want to bring in, right? But now Jonas comes and Kemi's done a great job building the roster. And he knows the player that's required to play the way he believes. And he also plays a style, though, that will be successful in the NWSL, which is why I told him, I think you'll be successful. And I do think that for Jonas, it was unfair, his time at Arsenal, because when I was there, I recognized that he had very high quality as a coach. And sometimes, you know, whatever the locker room timing wise with coaches, it doesn't work. But that team then went and won a Champions League. You don't win a Champions League overnight. You all know that, you know. And I think a lot of Arsenal winning that Champions League was built off the foundation of the football that Jonas had built there. And I think it's the same type of, you know, football that he now is deploying at San Diego. And I think what's really cool is he's now getting the right mix of players and being able to, I think, where I think he's finding the success is actually in the culture here in the US and the way that the players want to learn. And you have a young team and he is teaching and I feel like building in the way that is really connecting.
I'm so glad you say that, because this is why as well in this women's game, we need people like you that understand football. It's my problem in this sport.
Yeah, same. That's why I'm doing this.
I promise.
I was like, I can't listen to anyone else, so I might as well just do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Without like insulting anyone or like be rude to anyone.
Of course not. Yeah.
This game needs expertise like this. You know, when you're saying like you don't win a Champions League in 5 months, how many people say that in the media? The fans are going to say that was the best decision ever.
Of course,
to sack the coach and stuff. Maybe. But the foundation are still here. The coach was with him, learning through him.
Exactly.
How many people say that? None.
Yeah.
In the media. And sometimes as a player, in anything in this sport that is growing, I feel like no one see that. And it's so frustrating. As a player, you're like, but wait, no one is talking about that. And you have a position that you can't really talk about it because you're in it. And if you talk about yourself, what you're doing yourself,
of course.
Or what your teammate is doing, they're going to say, oh, she's biased. But like in the media, we miss in this sport to grow expertise.
Yeah. Talking about like other players and stuff and inspiration, I want to know, you mentioned Kimmy on your team, who's a young like U.S. youth national team player. Delphine, are there any players on your team that have surprised you that you didn't know about before?
Mel, technically, it's a high level. She can do everything with her feet, so it's really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't wait to see her in the future.
Yeah. Do you think if you were a young player, you know, I feel like you're still a young player to me because I feel like I've just watched you since. But do you feel like if you're a young player that this would be a good professional environment for you as a young player to develop?
To play in the US?
Yeah, in the NWSL. You do?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good league to improve, to increase a level.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. Because
do you think so?
Yeah.
I can speak for like only San Diego because I only
That's
know
true.
San Diego.
Yeah.
And I think, again, like, is my coach, so like, is people gonna think I'm biased? But I think Jonas is really good at developing players because he's so into details.
Yeah.
That like they're lucky.
Yeah. Actually, you make a really good point because when I sat in on your meeting and it was, you know, in preseason, so you're going over kind of like the identity of the team, Jonas was talking about like pressing. And it was very basic, right? It was very simple, like, you know, we press like this and like what are pressing triggers. And when I was in the room, I was like, this is very elementary. But then I look around the room and I see these players are very elementary, you know? And it's almost like you kind of have to speak to players where they're at in the level of their game. Because obviously you can add the layers.
100%.
But when you're first coming in, you all have to understand the basics of football. And that's when I was like, this is what he's good at.
I think like I personally judge a coach on, does he make me feel better?
Yeah.
Play better? And am I better since he's here?
Yeah.
And at my age, it's kind of like, but do you think you're a better player?
Yeah, because Delphine, you were here last season, and obviously Jonas just came in this season. How do you think it has changed the most?
Yeah, I think I improve a lot. I progress a lot with him. Tactically, with Bavik, with pressing and a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think he's a good developing coach. Yeah.
How do you think your game has improved the most being in NWSL from where you were before?
Maybe tactically. Yeah. Maybe I improve a lot of stuff about tactic. Yeah.
Yeah. What exactly? Like, what are you thinking about when you
pressing?
Yeah. Really?
Pressing. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Because this is a very pressing league.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. No, I think the one thing that it's funny because I watch you a lot and analyze you, and I always think like, oh, there's like, I think that you have the qualities, and you can tell me if I'm correct. You see Delphine. I see like very high level qualities, and I feel like there's the last piece of the execution in Delphine's game, and you're like at the perfect age to put it all together. And what I feel like I'm seeing this season especially is that final piece really starting to come together. And we know in the modern game, wingers now are almost the most important attackers. Before it was like the wingers play to the 9. And if you look at San Diego, you don't have the Banda on your team. You know, you have, Delphine. So it's even more critical for Delphine to, have a goal, have an assist, have that final action. And I feel like when like the US is all about output and stats, output. And you have a beautiful player that you just love watching every time they get the ball. Do you think that's one aspect that you feel like is really developing that final kind of piece to her game?
For me, Delphine is top 3 winger in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and
But don't you think you would say that for a long time? Do you think? How does she become?
Again, I'm really not biased. I ask anyone to tell me who's better, than Delphine on the wings. You got like player like Hansen that I love at Barcelona. Incredible like player as well. But like for me, Delphine is top 3 winger.
Yeah.
And as you said, like, I remember when Jonas came and he said to me, translate that to Delphine, he say, I want her to be more hungry.
Yeah.
You remember that? And like he said like that straight away.
Yeah.
He said like, in the final bits, I want her to be hungry.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's definitely more consistent in her game, like even through the 90 minutes. Like sometimes it was like flashy action and then maybe disappear for 10 minutes and then come back in the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like now she's like really consistent, really like she changed. We couldn't play the way we play without Delphine because she's literally the dynamite on her attack.
Yeah.
Which like from the back we more like building with patience and stuff. But like you will always have, I know as a midfielder that I always have Delphine on the right.
Yeah.
And like she will like create out of nothing.
Takes a lot of attention too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is the best version of Delphine I've never seen since I know her. Yeah.
Do you feel like that, Delphine? Do you feel like you're playing your best football?
Yes, maybe at 28. Yeah, maybe.
Still young.
Yeah, I'm still young.
Yeah.
But I think I have a lot of things to improve for myself and for the team. So, yeah.
Do you want to go a little bit higher? Do you want to go take another step?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All of us want to be on the top.
Yeah, everybody wants to, but not everybody can. You know, that's the difference. You know, like when you hear your coach say, you know, you're already at a high level, you can take another step. Does that give you like belief?
Yeah, of course. I believe I can do a lot of things with this team, but I think it's I just want to have fun with my team. You know, I don't want to be a star or you know.
This is
I don't care
this
about
is the things about Delphine.
Yeah,
she's such a team player.
I know. I do see that, but whether you want to be or not, you are a star.
Yeah.
You know, you are a player that, you know, people love to watch, you know, and I think between the two of you, I said that you're the most dynamic duo in the league because I think there's the level of control that you're showing, like I said, that I've never seen before in the NWSL, and then the level of flair, entertainment, and now, you know, the consistency of making an impact that is just, it's incredible to watch in the NWSL. And you're doing what I have never seen in the NWSL, which is your team is playing like really beautiful, enjoyable football, but you're also getting results. And I hope that continues for the rest of the season, because this is what the evolution that I've dreamed of for the NWSL. So I just want to thank you both for kind of coming to the NWSL and showing us that it's possible and that our game can evolve in this way. So, and obviously, Kenza, I love seeing you more often.